Join us on the show 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeniyi, Ajisafe. A moment there, enjoying some good football from the under-17 AFCON taking place in Morocco. Even though we are not there, we just have to showcase African football at its best. And that's under-17. There are different countries participating, taking us to the first story on the show. Though we have so many stories for you, that's why we call it 360 Sport. And now let's start with the under-17 AFCON taking place in Morocco there with the story that has to do with South Africa, Tanzania claim victories as Algeria hold Ghana. Algeria hold Ghana in the encounter, while Tanzania and South Africa, they were able to get claim victories in their matches. Just those clips that you saw there. Congrats to all the teams that won, and also taking a look at some of the results because they played some games on Thursday. Looking at the result of matches, South Africa defeated Senegal 2-1, Tanzania 3-0 against Mozambique, and Mali shared it against Angola. Algeria also played 2-2 against Ghana. Well, Nigeria is not there, but the fact that we are not there doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it, because it's still part of Africa and it's African football, and that's why today we're having one of those forces to be reckoned when it comes to sport journalism in Nigeria. We talk about photojournalists, video journalists, stream. Well, I call him in your Mayweather. Ahmad Emmanuel is here, Radio Wizard. Good to have you.
Beautiful morning to you, Ni, and beautiful morning to the viewers as well. It's good to be here. It's been a while. I tried to do it virtually, but sometimes, you know, the candidates behind it.
Before we started, someone said something's always hanging your video. Anyway, let's start it. Now, we just to showcase some clips here about AFCON under-17. Nigeria is not playing, of course, but we know that we need to actually talk about this. We saw the result. Algeria playing draw 2-2 against Ghana, Angola, Mali, draw, South Africa beating Senegal 2-1, and all that. Well, under-17 is ongoing in Morocco. At least we've seen a lot of football artistry there, where we saw those young lads, even though some people are questioning face of some player, are they really under 17? Like the goalkeeper of which country like that is looking like 20. Yeah. This is Africa anyway. Definitely.
Well, honestly, when you watch, competitions like this, the age grade competitions, and you're not seeing Nigeria there, especially the under 17, for a country that has dominated, virtually like about 5 times at the world level. Then when it comes to the under 17 level, we're not there. It's sad, It also poses a lot of questions that what is going on with the NFF, or so to say, the football development in Nigeria. Back in the days, you see, coaches going around scouting for young players. They go as far as going to maybe schools, to look for very young players, organize friendly matches, pick 1 or 2, blend them with the already invited players, and then that will form a very formidable team. But that is not happening at the moment. You see a coach coming on board, all he does is sit down, invite players about 50 or even 500 sometimes, then begin to cut down the screening down to whoever comes in with the big money. And then at the end of the day, we'll come out with probably 20, 22 or 23 players and say we'll have a team. At the end of the day, you see us struggling even at this local level, if I'll put it that way. It is not good for our football, and something really needs to be done. However, when you watch some of these African countries play, yes, Nigeria is not there, but you've got no choice to do your job as a sport journalist. You want to inform people, you want to let them know that this is exactly what is happening. Quite a lot of people do not even know that the under-17 competition is going on, probably until you mention it this morning. Why? Because Nigeria is not there.
Playing.
So it is good that you probably picking out these stories, and of course it's also good for our viewers so that they'll be informed. But then Nigeria not there is something we really need to hit and talk about. I mean, just recently we heard that under 17 and under 20 team coaches were actually announced, even though we do not know the procedures. They actually went through before announcing these guys. On a normal setting, you have the NFF throwing it open. If you qualify, come in and apply, then proper screening will be done. At the end of the day, you announce the qualified candidate. If these guys fail tomorrow, you cannot hold anybody because they were just picked, probably due to 1 or 2 connections. Somebody was asking me, what is this thing behind Mekaba? Is it that he's the only qualified person in Nigeria? And I just laughed. I said, no, he's not. But trust me, this is Nigeria. And there are a lot of things sometimes you don't even want to mention it on air. because it's dirty for people to really, hear or view. So it's something that is really worrisome, and we need to do something really quick about that. Let's see if these guys will probably change the narrative. Just yesterday, we had the assistants being announced. One of the respected coaches, if I will say, to be fair, who used to handle or still handling, what's it called, Beyond Limits, was also one of the first assistant coaches for the under-17. Let's hope that something positive will come at the end of the day, so that we can now probably sit back and say, yeah, we'll have a future, because this should be the bedrock for tomorrow's stars when it comes to our national team. So for me, it's a good one, but for countries like Egypt, Ghana, some countries that you do not even expect, to pull the trigger, they are doing well. Tells you that some other African countries are working seriously to develop their football. But what are we doing in Nigeria? Well, it's a question I want those are the hierarchy to actually answer, honestly.
Anyway, we made at least just have to showcase this particular story that has to do with CAF under-17 AFCON taking place in Morocco. Like Ahmad said, a lot of people may not even know because Nigeria is not playing, so maybe that's why. But now we have to project it, and it's ongoing in Morocco, and a lot of teams are participating. Hopefully, we get to that story where we talk about the coaches appointing their own assistants and all that. But before that story is the one big one that happened, because as we speak, the Nationwide League One is ongoing across different centers in Nigeria. And we begin to hear so that has to do with match fixing. Taking us to the story that we have, NLO match fixing allegation. Organizers invite clubs for interrogation. And what is happening? This is third-tier football in Nigeria. And we begin to see match fixing because of what? They just want to be there. And we need to change this I must be there mentality by all means, by all force, or whatever you want to call it. Now let's take a look at the backup to that story, because organizers, that's NLO organizers, have invited. We formally invite MC Steve Football Club, a beautiful Terrace Football Club, to provide an explanation regarding the result of the league match, which took place on Thursday with a 13-3 scoreline. 10-3 scoreline. It has come to our attention that there are concerns regarding the integrity of the match, and we request that both clubs present their case to demonstrate why the outcome should not be deemed a compromise match. Please prepare your statement and any supporting documentation you wish to submit. We will appreciate receiving your responses by Monday, 18th May, to allow for a thorough review before any further actions are taken. Your cooperation in maintaining the integrity of the Nationwide League One is greatly valued. Now, Ahmad, you've been covering this competition, and take a look at MC Steve Football Club and Beautiful Terrace Football Club scoring 10-3. Is it that the 10-3 is unachievable, or there are facts that made NLO organizer to actually say, okay, please prepare your statement and any supporting documentation? I underline that place.
Definitely.
So this means they have some facts before they came up with this.
Definitely. They do. But, the question is this scoreline achievable in football? Yes, it's achievable. But for this statement to come up, definitely there's more to it. More to it in the sense that MCC, Steve, for example, they've been one of the teams struggling at that center. They play, I think, pitch B. There's pitch A, there's pitch B. So pitch B is the venue. I think they're in the same group with, AAFC, Anglican, Boosdo, Kogi United, and I think one of that two teams in that group, that center, so to say. Now, this particular match, for this statement to come up, definitely, like you said, there's more to it. There's more to it because MC Steve is one of the teams that have been struggling. They actually surprised bookmakers by shocking Kogi United. They won 2-1. But before that result, they've not won any game.
Then they won this 10-3.
Then they now won this one 10-3. Now, the reason I'm making up this analysis is that for Beautiful Toro, they've been the whipping team in that group. Obviously, they've not recorded, I think, any win. They've not. And they've been conceding a lot of goals. I think they were beaten by a very young side in AAFC, 6-1. They went on to actually lost again in one other game. My memory serves me where I cannot remember now. Before yesterday's game, which they lost. I think, the last game before this game, they lost 3-0. In fact, they almost not showing up. I understand, because I already left that center and I was like, okay, it's like this guy will not come. Okay, probably there will be a walkover. But yesterday at that venue, I inquired. They said they later showed up 30 minutes after the normal time that was supposed to kick off the game.
For the match.
Yes, they came. So ordinarily, you should have maybe 15 minutes of grace and then there will be a walkover. But they came 30 minutes. I understand. I got it. Now, if that is the scenario, maybe you pardon them. Probably they communicated with the league body that probably there's 1 or 2 challenges on their way. I wouldn't know about that. But on the normal settings of standard, then 15 minutes grace, you're gone. But they still played the game and went on to lose 3-0 before yesterday's disastrous result. 10-3. The last time I checked that scoreline, I wasn't there, but somebody was updating. I saw 7-3. I was like, what is going on? But at the end of the day, full time, I was seeing 10-3. No, this one is beyond football. I mean, somebody was even asking, is it basketball? It's not basketball, it's football. Now at that center, a lot of politics, are being played. A lot of politics being played at that center because number one, there are teams at this FCT who also wants to play in the NNL. Some just want to play for the fun of it, especially teams that have a lot of young players. These are players, they just want to market them, and for them to market them, they need to expose them to leagues like this and also have them documented, maybe for potential agent or scouts. Then they'll have clips to present. I understand, but some will qualify at the end of the day and they will not play. They only look for a government-owned team
to sell the slot.
That is struggling and then sell the slot. So it's like a money-making, opportunity or stand for some of these
machine.
So it's crazy, and that's why you see all of these politics playing out. Trust me, if they're not picking the ticket, they want to just at least let's win.
Get the slots.
Then
sell it.
If I'm not even playing, then we can sell. And then they said, you go, take this, and then they start all over again. It is happening.
Now, I remember when somebody was advocating that they should stop this act of people being able to sell. At times you just be in a WhatsApp with somebody, just send me a message.
Yes.
NLO slots.
Yes,
available for sale. You'll be like,
interested. If you're interested, chat me.
Goodness.
This is just one of the reasons you see, stuff like this happening, in this third tier, not even NNL, not even MPFL. I mean, come to think of it. So something really needs to be done. And again, the NLO needs to brace up. They need to brace up in the sense that there are a lot of teams participating in this third tier league across the country. How many of the NLO agents or representatives are there to monitor things themselves? Here we have coordinators. Sometimes you don't even see some of the coordinators. Probably they'll be arriving after first half, maybe after the first game.
Doesn't have to do with,
because there's no proper monitoring
and then funding. Maybe
yes,
people are not at least that's particular, and that's a way money inspire people to do their job.
Yes.
So maybe those organized match
the league body
that failed to show up in time because of the fact that they were not really inspired,
motivated, so to say. But the question is, if you know you can manage 10 people very well, that they will do the job and deliver for you, come on, get
Stay
those 10
on that
people.
10.
Don't go for 20 and then you begin to struggle. I remember, I think about 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around Katangura, I was there. There's one of the guys assigned to stream officially for the league. Did you know what happened? After 10 minutes, he shut down the camera and left. I streamed all of those matches using my platform, which is not official. But at the end of the day, the league body doesn't know if that center was actually covered as expected, because he just sent out the link and then after 10 minutes, he's gone. When he came back, I said, but you're supposed to stream this game. He said, man, my camera is down. I mean, you need to prepare. That's not an excuse. Your camera is down when you're supposed to stream. But the truth is, nobody is actually
asking questions.
Yeah, nobody. So
no head is rolling.
Yeah, and then he gets away with it. So these are the things that are really actually giving birth to such ugly development. There's no proper monitoring. The managerial aspect of it is not too encouraging, and then you see people behaving just the way they want to behave. It's a problem, and it really needs to be tackled. Let's see what the outcome of this investigation will be. And of course, there's another incident. This one, I'm very much aware of it, even though some people will not want me to mention it, but I just have to, because if you want something to be good, if this is the only platform that we can also use to help the league grow, let's use it. The match between Kogi United and this same MC Steve, there was a player who was red carded in the previous game. Ordinarily, according to the grievance or the how do I put it now? The grievance of the offense. He was supposed to miss at least 2 matches. He came back and played in that game and also went on to score.
Among those goals.
Yeah, in fact, he scored the winning goal, so to say, against Kogi United. Now, investigation was supposed to be carried out. Kogi United actually attempted to file an appeal. Like, this player we saw in the last game.
Against us, he was
so he was
red-carded.
ineligible. Why was he fielded? And now he even went on to score, and then that cost Kogi United the match, the result, so to say. And then along the line, I started hearing stuff like, okay, if you want to protest, you need to pay a certain amount of money
to scare
to the tune of 500,000 naira. Have you ever heard that? And then, trust me, at the end of the day, the team just
Kogi United
quietly
mellow. Let us use that word.
You know why? Even those that are supposed to judge, to be at the hierarchy, to say, okay, we're taking this up, are even the ones frustrating your effort to protest.
Because you're asking for 500K for you to be able to register
it's
your
crazy,
grievance.
honestly.
That, okay, look at what happened.
Yes.
Clear court ineligibility of a player.
Then and ordinarily, MC Steve should have just lost that 3 points.
So from all you've said so far, it means the Nigerian Football Federation needs to really look into the third tier.
Definitely.
You know, third tier, that's the NLO, Nationwide League One. They have so many teams, over 300 teams, or even 350
across
teams.
various centers.
If that is the case now, it's high time the Nigerian Football Federation should find a way to sit with the organizers of NLO.
Yes.
Please, you have to work on this corruption. It's becoming very glaring that people will be like, okay, it's like the corruption in the NLO is even bigger than the one in NPFL.
In fact, yes. Because a lot of people don't even know the way and manner NLO is being played. Trust me. A lot of sport journalists just sit down, probably because we now have a very easy, global world now that you can just access information probably through a WhatsApp group and say, oh, yesterday so team played, the scoreline is 2-1. They don't really understand how the league is being run. I don't know if you understand me, because probably some centers, after a winner emerge here, another winner emerge here, they'll go for another playoff before you now decide who is going to qualify or pick the ticket. You get. So it's I don't know. Look, NFL, like you said, needs to work seriously, call these guys, talk to them, ask questions, and then put them on their toes. Because
from what you just mentioned, an ineligible player playing the next match, red card, at least a novice will know that whenever they bring a red card, you are not playing next match. And then you went
two matches, depend on the offense.
Now you went ahead to play the next match and even scored.
Yes.
And then the next thing, if you try to file an appeal and someone is telling you, cough out 500K.
That's they call it an appeal fee.
Appeal fee. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if there's anything
Nigeria
like
Football
that.
Federation needs to really look down on the Nationwide League One, the third tier of our football. Because right now, a lot of things we're hearing about the league football, maybe because of the fact that the style, because I noticed that the fact that we have different centers, that even allow a lot of shady things.
Yes. Yes. Because some centers are less monitored.
So it's you can easily do things. You can easily sit down and say, okay, let how much you get there, how much you get, your team don't win. You know the way we run.
That's it. And it's not good for the league. If you don't have the quality, if you don't have the standard, then you take the result that actually matches your standard.
If it is only 100 teams, I still don't understand. Please enlighten me, Ahmad. How would you have 350 clubs playing a league?
And the funny part? At the end of the day, you have probably just 2 or 3 or 4 qualifying.
And then why are we? Is it by force we must have 350 teams in the league?
You remember what?
Because I still remember when they'll be bragging that NLO is the biggest league in Nigeria, 320 teams.
Yes.
And oh my goodness.
See, ordinarily, I think this league, this NLO precisely, is supposed to be kind of bedrock for clubs like NNL or even MPFL to scout for players and say, okay, this boy is good. He's
come over here.
Not necessarily to make money or want to pick the slot and sell. No, it shouldn't be that.
That slot sales needs to be. NFL needs to find a way around that slot sale one. We keep saying we want to make our football or our sports to be business like those who are abroad, but we keep doing the same thing, always rigmaroling the same route every time. Okay, you say you want to do this, you come with so many policies that you want to do, and at the end of the day, you won't do it. Okay, if you want to sanitize the league from all these corruption issues, why don't you just stamp your feet and say, okay, if it is only 20 teams that can afford to be actually ready to play outright good football, let's have 20.
Do you know another interesting thing, Nee? After probably recording over 500 or probably less than 500, let me not approximate here, then you see after the groupings and all that, you begin to, initially you're supposed to have 10 teams competing at a particular center. You now discover you now have 9. Or probably sometimes 8. He said, what happened? They said, oh, 2 teams withdrew. One couldn't meet up.
Why did they register?
So why would they even register to start with?
And they're supposed to be penalized for backing out at that moment.
We won't hear anything. They will just stay as if it's just something normal. They couldn't meet up and then they withdrew.
They will make it look so like a child's play with levity. You see, the way we look at sport with so much levity, every sphere, it's just very funny. Now they just take it with like, oh, they play. This is third tier now. Let's just the more that are available, bring them.
Let them play.
But sincerely, something must be done about Nigerian football or Nigerian sport in general. We've been looking at how we can advocate for how we can see that sport is really business, as I always say. Check those nations abroad or even in Africa. Today, we are beginning to see Nigerians nationalized to be a Sudanese football player. We are beginning to see a lot of Nigerians decide to stay with Libya. They don't mind as long as things are done well. And really, we need to get it right. And if we don't start from the grassroots, because I see NLO as a grassroots level of football, where we can easily see those talented players and begin to develop them. But now we begin to see that as instant business. And quickly, we have HC there. We have a lot of issues, slot sales. We have issues of, look at the issue that has to do with appeal. Well, we just hope that everything will be right. Nigerian Football Federation, Nationwide League One, all the organizers of this competition say, if you can only organize 20 matches successfully without hitches or corruption, and then we are good to go. Not to go with the bad wagon of having 350 clubs. And then hopefully, maybe you can see 10 matches without any issue of corruption there. Something must be done about that, and it's a food for thought for all of us. Ahmad Emmanuel has been covering the Nationwide League One, and that's why he has some fact. He's been there. He knows what he's saying. And right now, we just hope that we get it right, because majority of this club will also get to NNL to MPFL, and the corruption continues. Something must be done. Ahmad Emmanuel, thank you for the opportunity to at least give us those insights into what is happening in our third-tier league. But also, at least, we know that championship in England, we have the third tier. In fact, they have 8th tier, 7th tier, and nothing is happening. Everything goes well. What is wrong? Like somebody spoke in Nigerian parlance and say, who did do us like that? Anyway, we hope all goes well. We spent so much time on that topic. Let's cross over. Now, another one that this time around has to do with women football. Some times back, NFL announced that they will be playing, Nigeria Super Falcons will be playing friendly against Jamaican Reggae Girls. But now, that match should not be coming because of the fact that the days they picked fell on those on the dates that will not be FIFA window. Now let's take that story. What will be that has to do with cancellation of friendly against Nigeria. Just to take Jamaica football explains. They have to explain why they back out from that particular situation. Well, as it is, the cancellation of that friendly, according to Jamaica, they said it didn't fall on FIFA window, and that's why they backed out.
Not because the finance is
not there. Because what we are being told is administrative of they said those dates didn't fall on FIFA free days, and they can't release, player will not be released. So how How did it come to this?
When you talk about female football in Nigeria, let me start with the national team, Super Falcons. We have the Super Eagles, we have the Super Falcons. We've had, players, especially established players, who think whatever happens, no problem. Even if they want us to go, we are ready to go. We have Rasheedat Ajibade. We have Oparanozie before she actually decided to call it quit. We have Ajisafe Shuala and a host of other ladies. Even Onome Ebi at the point in time complained that the way the Super Eagles are being treated is quite different from the way the Falcons are being treated. Now, when it comes to friendlies, I think this actually came up after some of these players spoke out, with a lot of sport journalists and pundits hammering on it, asking questions. Why are you treating the Super Falcons as if they are less appreciated compared to the Super Eagles? And trust me, these guys have achieved even more than the Super Eagles have done. But trust me, the way they've been treated is very unfair. If it is fair enough, why would the NFF not also check, like the Jamaicans have done, to confirm a FIFA
window free
days? Okay, so date is free.
This is a letter of, at least it shows that this is Jamaica. They are not for yellow and green. Touch of green.
Honestly.
Press release from Kingston, Jamaica. This is very embarrassing for our football. Sincerely, we just have to, this is what I'm talking about.
And why should we even wait for this to make corrections? Do they think whatever they say here in Nigeria will not get out there? Do they think there will be no reactions?
Just take a look.
This is
wishes to clarify and correct recent media report regarding the proposed international women's fixture involving the Jamaica senior women's national team and its Papa of Nigeria, contrary to report.
On the line, contrary.
Suggesting that the fixture was cancelled due to administrative issues on the part of Jamaica. The facts are as follows. The organizers of the Unity Cup extended an invitation to the Jamaican women national team to participate in a proposed match against Super Falcons of Nigeria as part of the launch of activities for Unity Cup, blah, blah, blah. The proposed fixtures dates were May 27, 28, and 30. However, these dates fall outside of the official FIFA Women International window, which runs June 1 to 9. Please, who made that error in NFL? Not to know that, okay, the next FIFA window for women will be made. Okay, maybe the person is thinking it's for men.
No, probably. Probably, yeah. Oh, goodness. Sometimes we say NFF president. Yes, whatever happens, we quickly refer to the head. But the head too needs to sit tight. Whoever is working with you,
who is in charge
should be very competent. Competent, because whatever the results is, be at the end of the day, fingers will be pointed at you. Nobody will ask for who is in charge of organizing friendlies, who is in charge of picking dates, who is in charge of, doing all of this stuff. The only problem, or whatever anybody is going to say now, is that NFF are not serious. Or NFF is not serious. If I'll put them as a body. Now, singular.
To be candid, the embarrassment.
No, it's crazy.
Allow me to use the embarrassment actually is as long from here to Jamaica.
Definitely.
For Jamaica to come up with this, the date actually is for June. We are quoting May. It means somebody somewhere in the NFF forgot to look. Oh, wait. This is not for men. This is for women. So maybe the person is quoting for men, thinking he's quoting for women.
For women.
And now women are the one playing.
Now you know why some of these girls have been speaking. A lot of people say Ajibade is too lousy. Is she the only one? Oparanozie, probably that's one of the reasons she. I say, look, let them talk. Because they are the key actors. They understand what they're saying. You just organize a fire brigade campaign, blah, blah, blah. We're going for WAFCON, and then you expect the girls to do magic. When they get to the what stage, they struggle. Have you ever asked why? When you don't play grade A friendly matches, United States of America, Germany, Sweden,
Finland,
get used to them. Oh, we've met them a couple of times, no problem. We know how they play, we know how to approach them. How would you perform when you meet them at the main competition at the world level? How would you? These are the questions these guys have been asking, because at the end of the day, a lot of people will begin to hit them. Oh, they could not play. Some will say, oh, mama, what? Because you never gave them the chance to, test their opponents in some pre-tournament matches, so to say. And at the end of the day, you discover that the way they handle the Super Eagles is not the same way they handle the Super Falcons.
Sincerely, the gap is just too wide.
Honestly.
I think NFF needs to really do something. Okay, let me ask you a question. Imagine if this happened to Super Eagles. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now imagine now we want to play against, let's even say the Jamaica. For men, I'm talking about Super Eagles now, and this kind of error happened. They know that the guys will grumble that, come on, what kind of...
Definitely.
They will not do this kind of error.
No, they will not.
I've never seen where Eagles, they made error about Eagles friendly. Not picking FIFA window, picking wrong date.
No.
But you could do this for Super Falcons.
That shows
Really
shows you how they handle the Super Falcons. How less they handle the Super Falcons.
With levity.
Yes. Meanwhile, these girls, for me, still have achieved more than the Super Falcons.
You can deduct three out of 10. 3 times. The men, they won it 3 times.
Yes.
The women, and somebody will say, okay, it's not the same. I understand. But please, I asked the question when the person was saying, come on, you cannot compare men football. Okay, when they were writing WAFCON, won by Nigeria, why didn't they mention the name of the players alone? Why did they say Nigeria won 10 times?
Yes.
Why did they say, oh, Perpetual Nkocha alone won? Why did they use the country, Nigeria? Why did they trade the glory? It's not for Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. Why is it that when the men won the AFCON 3 times, why didn't they put the name of the players there that won? Only their names, not Nigeria,
as a country.
Were they representing Comoros or Ghana? Are they not representing Nigeria?
Of course, yeah.
They represented Nigeria. Okay. You went ahead, you provided jersey for them. You went ahead, you did this and did logistics for them to go for the tournament. It means they were representing your country.
Definitely.
And now we now say, oh, women football. It's either you don't do it at all. If we know we are not ready,
let's sit back.
Sit back and focus on the men football.
Yes.
So that look at Real Madrid. They started their women football when? It's not long. It's not long.
Less than 4 years now.
They didn't want to dabble into. They waited for when they were ready.
Yes.
And now, before you know it, they begin to grow again. So, if we know that it's only men football we want to focus, let's know that, okay, this is where we want to focus. Instead of all starting one tournament, different jamboree here and there, then
embarrassing after some stories, you present yourself like, you're one of the biggest countries when it comes to football, and at the end of the day, you're not meeting that standard.
Take a look at under 17, under 20 now. We are finding it difficult to qualify to play in Africa, let alone World Cup.
Yes, because there's high level of corruption that is not checked.
Check that match against Malawi. If not that we were able to win, if not that we were able to win here.
Yes, it's not game over.
And nobody.
And trust me, the lady that scored that brace against Nigeria came in based on an invitation. She's one of the foreign-based players for Malawi, and she was able to deliver. Tells you that they had a game plan. They almost executed it, if not for what I would call maybe luck. Because for me, I still do not trust the capacity of Adeniyi handling the Falconets. Oscar Precious came in just by chance, I would say. I would say it was destined, because that goal came, it was born out of just, one moment of love from the defense line, and then she picked and scored. That changes the story. And now we're not even talking about the lapses now until we get to the what stage.
We qualified.
Yeah, we qualified. Yeah, we lost, we qualified. Why don't you ask questions? What happened? How did Malawi score twice?
And nearly upstaged.
Yes. Because if that game probably had went into shootout, because it was tied already at 2-2.
They were pressing more.
Maybe by now it would have been game over, and then we'll start crying. Say, oh, how did this happen? How did that happen? They've been in camp. I've visited, both the under-20 and the Flamingos camp. I've seen the difference. Trust me. You will see the Flamingos playing a couple of days' time now against Guinea in qualifiers. You definitely attest to what I'm telling you now. When a coach is working, when he has the quality, you definitely know from the way the team plays.
Let's just hold it there. Seriously, Nigerian football, or the way we take sport, we really need to take it very serious. A majority of us actually like sport, but we take it, we just, come on, it's just fun. No, it's not. It's really business. If things go well, if we do it right. Anyway, right now we have to move away from there because of our time. We have to just touch on just two. That has to do with Player of the Year has been nominated. The nominees for the Premier League. We take a look at that, and also take a look at the French league of French team. For the fact that their World Cup list is out and some player couldn't make it. Okay, these are the players that made player of the season. We have Bruno Fernandes, Gabriel, Morgan Gibbs-White, Erling Haaland. You have Igor Thiago, Antoine Semenyo, Declan Rice, and David Raya. The only goalkeeper. Somebody was like, okay, if Raya go win this thing.
If he eventually wins it, I think, to be fair,
he deserves
I would say he deserves it. Because when you check, even though Arsenal, we cannot confirm now until after the 2 matches, or probably something funny happens to Man City, you definitely give it to him that he contributed massively to the level of achievement so far with the Gunners. So if he eventually end up winning it, I mean, to be fair, it's not always the attackers that will consider.
At least, like somebody, if you check World Footballer of the Year, they should be considering the goalkeepers too and the defender.
Yes.
I think it's only Fabio Cannavaro has been only defender that won it.
And probably the most recent one that a lot of people were asking questions about, the guy that plays for Man City. What's his name?
Oh, the man with the name.
I will definitely remember. You know, so let's consider other departments too, because
Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri, thank you so much. They're also working seriously. They're working. The goalkeepers sometimes even suffer more. They even inspire the team to win. But when the victory comes, we only consider those that scored fantastic goals. Oh, great goal! How about the goalkeeper that kept that clean sheet, ensure that the team didn't go in?
You look at some saves from goalkeepers, the way they jump, stretch themselves. So I was watching some saves, and we wondering, how did that goalkeeper, just a tip of the finger, will put the ball away, push the ball away. You see some just either their leg will hit the goalpost.
They still manage to stand. Some do even double saves back to back. They hit them here, they go, they come back to save again. The other angle,
the goalkeepers deserve it. So let's see what happens. Player of the season nominees there: David Raya, the only goalkeeper nominated. 3 players from Arsenal. You have Manchester United, even Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White, Erling Haaland. You have Igor Thiago, Semenyo, and Declan Rice. Well, the voting has actually started. We see who's going to be winning this. And now that takes us to the French. A lot of teams are releasing their team list. So painful that Nigeria won't be there anyway, but at least we have to celebrate order. The French team released their own, and we know that when it comes to this World Cup, this team stands out among the teams.
One of the
I'm not saying I'm going to win it, but one of the forces.
You should even say one of the favorites. Even
Take a look at this. We have goalkeepers. Maigna, Samba, right? A lot of them. Jigie, you have Koundé, Hernandez, Upamecano, Konate, Saliba, all of them. But there, you look at some list. I think we need to look at the French team. The French team, big names missing out of 2026 World Cup. Some missed out. The likes of Kamavinga, surprisingly, didn't make it. We know that it's so surprising. A lot of people were like, what happened?
You cannot say surprising. Look.
Take a look at the list.
For example, look, he's even topping anyway. Kamavinga, if he happens to be a Nigerian, even if he has half leg,
he will make it
because he plays for Real Madrid. Oh no, he has to come. But some of these coaches do not,
they don't care about where you.
Then they will tell you. I remember Soleti saying, if Neymar is fit, that's the only way he can come in.
Carlo Ancelotti actually
imagine
said that.
A Neymar being a Nigerian.
He will stroll into Super Eagles. Look at Kolo
That just will be reserved for you.
Mwani, Kamavinga, Tovin, Tolisso, all these guys.
Yes.
Even their legendary striker, Griezmann.
Yes. Do you know why? The standard is there. They have options. In every department, there are more than 2 options.
Let's go back to the normal list. These are the players that missed it.
Yes.
Let's go back to the list of players that actually made it to the World Cup. Now, you have Mbappe, you have all these guys. You'll be looking at it truly. The way the French team is, seems they are really ready to win this World Cup.
Yes, they are. Of course they are. Because, you know, when you see some of these players, the way they perform at their various club levels, and the way they seem to cement their place in every team they play for, You cannot question this team. You cannot. This list, there's no way you question.
Look at the forward.
The squad is just awesome. The only thing now left for the coach is to blend.
Let them even have unity.
That's all.
Let them not
and then
fight.
you see beautiful football.
Because I remember they had it like this. What year was that? They started fighting. They
Yes.
fought and they lost out.
Yes.
So the way I see this team now, if they are captain Mbappe, I know Mbappe is a very talented player, but I think to some extent people talk about his pride and all that. And I remember one of the match they played where he was about entering and he asked N'Golo Kante to throw the captain band, and some of the retired players were saying no. Even though you are the captain, you can humbly
do
ask
it with
for
respect.
it. Kante should even stand as a captain of that team.
But it doesn't take anything away from
his calmness and all that. So Mbappe, outstanding player, but he needs to calm down. I noticed that if you check, seems one way or the other, I think ego.
Yeah, ego is going to set in. You know why? Number one, he's been honored in the league. Let's start from there. You know, from Monaco to PSG, it's like a golden boy.
And he led PSG and started winning all the trophies in this world.
So they see him as, they've overhyped him, so to say. Yes, he deserves the hyping, but it shouldn't be too much. It's already getting into his head. And then from there to Madrid, for me, I think he shouldn't have been the captain to start with. Doesn't take away his contribution, his quality. Somebody else that is more calm, more mature should have been given the armband. But yeah, they've decided to give the captain armband to him. He now needs somebody to talk to him. Yeah, he needs somebody to sit him down, talk to him. Yes, you have the talent. Yes, you're one of the engine rooms, if so to say, in this squad. Try, bring your head down and respect the elders.
Well, as it is right now, we just have to look at that. It has to do with the French national team list that have been released by Coach Didier Deschamps there. But now the World Cup is almost here. The fever is catching up. We won't be there, but we'll continue to give you more updates on Sunny that. Ahmad Emmanuel has been with us in the studio. Ahmad, always a moment to have you. And thank you very much for all the NLO. I hope there won't be any sniper anywhere.
Well, there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming, Ahmad Emmanuel.
Pleasure is always mine.
Good one there. Good one. On the show, 360 Sport, we always said that sport is always business and fitness. From the entire crew, I'm Adeniyi Ajisafe. Thanks for watching.